But here we are.
Here we are.
Officially. Episode 12. Off of two hands. Need toes now.
Yep.
For Iris of RI. I'm still the host, Zycon Ebb and Flow. Today I'm sitting down with, don't mind me, Cam.
It's a tough one.
Janicula.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah. I said it in the last video that was not related to this one, but just practiced.
Totally,
so I can remember.
There you go. Yeah, Cam Janicula. It's a tough last name, but I mean, I've been living with it my whole life, so yeah.
I'm not gonna pay the money to have it changed.
To have it changed, right? Exactly.
So I'm gonna live with it.
Yep, you got it. Yeah.
I did that. I changed my name.
To legally?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
So because it's like people who are just like, this is what I go by, but that's not what actually my name is.
Right,
it's like,
right.
If the cop doesn't have to suffer through trying to call you my crazy name, then it's like you're half-assing it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. No, that's awesome. So it's Zyxon. Okay, and it's pronounced
Zycon, but it's
sure.
not English.
Okay,
so there's no reason for any person to like get that. If someone got it right, I would literally be like mind blown. It's like, are we fucking from the same starseed family?
Yeah,
out there, like
absolutely. So where does that name derive?
There's a whole like random things of my life happening that like kind of brought me to it.
Sure.
I was flirting with converting to Judaism, but like I'm not gonna fucking get circumcised because like that shit's a fucking cult tactic to fucking keep you fucking trauma bonded together in the religion. No, literally it is.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Absolutely.
2 cents, but
yeah.
And then Zion was important to them as a mountain in a place historically.
Utah.
No, I think
okay.
I think it's from the old world.
Gotcha.
I don't think it was the newfangled fucking the Mormon people like out there now. But I spelled it with a Y because I'm weird. Is why not?
Why not? Right? Yeah. I mean, if you can change your name, if you're gonna do it how you want it to be. And it's a sick way to do it.
Yeah. So. That plus there was an X in this. Cause I got my own philosophical bullshit, spiritual like religion thing. I call it xenolism.
Okay, gotcha.
Which was like my initials and then some fucking letters and then ism at the end.
Sure, right, absolutely.
So it's like, well, there's an X in that, so we'll throw an X in there. It'll be the last couple letters of the alphabet backwards. Like,
yep.
Why
there
the fuck
you go.
not?
Absolutely. Why not?
Zycon, because it sounds like Genghis Khan, but I'm more peaceful. I haven't killed.
Yeah.
How many thousands of people that guy got? I'm like, fucking my body count's way lower.
Yeah. Oh man.
So that's my whole story.
Absolutely.
I met Cam literally yesterday.
Yeah.
It's very beautifully synchronistic. My friend Jarrett, who was in the last video for Iris of My Eye, and the third interview of Iris of Our Eye. You can check that shit out. Which was like, yeah, dude, you want to hang out? And I'm like, sure, absolutely, love that guy. And then we just found a spot, and you were there fishing.
Yeah, I was fishing,
and we just shot the shit because we said the A word, ayahuasca, and he's just like, hey, dude, I'm thinking about doing that shit. What the fuck? What are the odds when these two random bros are talking about
Right,
it?
exactly, yeah. And like, it's funny too, because like the majority of the time, I don't like impose on other people's conversation, especially like out in nature. You know, I try and like hold the utmost respect to them of like allowing them to talk about whatever they want to, but like. It's been such a prominent thing, like in the past 2 weeks or so, about me trying to consider that, avenue. And when I heard you say it, I was like, well, I gotta say something, yeah.
Yeah, you don't hear that all the time everywhere.
Exactly.
So when it comes up, you're like, nice little green flag, you hope.
Exactly, yeah, without a doubt, man. So, but yeah, no, it's pretty much how you and I met. Yeah, just had a very good in-depth conversation, and it was,
Here we are again, having another one.
Absolutely. Happy to be here, too.
So, to my knowledge, based on the small conversation we had previously, musician, salesman, but not end goal, firefighter previously.
Yep.
And I don't know that firefighting isn't super artistic, and say there's definitely an art to sales, or I guess like a science you could say.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Are there any other forms of art that you consider yourself to be as an artist?
For sure. I do like to paint, and stuff like that as well, but I don't do it very often. I wouldn't consider myself a painter by any means necessary, but I do thoroughly enjoy it. But no, music and lyrics, words, I really have a strong, pull to the synchronicity of words and like how they can flow. Big fan of saying a lot with little words.
Right.
And like when people are able to kind of articulate their point in that regard, I think it's very, very good. So But no, definitely music is my art. Yeah, musician is my trade. So yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
Dumb man.
Yeah.
I did get a chance to listen to the Fonzie project.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
And I thought the one that was like got the most
Uh-huh.
listens was fucking dope.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. Thank
I love
you.
the how fast. I think it's 16th notes.
Yeah,
It starts
yeah.
in. Start
Uh-huh.
off with.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, starts on 16th.
But
Yeah.
that's just because like I love being able to like speak technically about music, but like my fingers are slugs. Like I'm not all the way proficient.
I heard the episode I was listening to on my way here. You were talking about how you were practicing for about 2 hours a day at the time, like 6 hours a week sort of deal, and how you're trying to incorporate the new things that you were learning with music versus what you already kind of had in your back pocket. And yeah, no, I mean it can be a tough time like trying to transpose what you want it to sound like to your hands and making your hand do the thing that you want it to do. It can be difficult as hell for sure. So.
And then to just be like, all right, well, I'm gonna do all of that technicality with my brain and my hands, but then I also want to sing
on top of it
in key in time. Yeah, so it's like I just imagine like the inner clown is just juggling 80 different things.
Right,
like,
exactly.
I can do this. Like, can you though?
Yeah, right, for sure. I mean, I think that it all comes with just time and regimented practice, and yeah, absolutely.
Keeping the flame of faith alive that like one day this shit's all gonna work out,
right?
Some way, shape, or form.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, having that faith too is a huge component of it. I feel like just being confident that your hard work pays off, because it does every single time, as long as you do the right steps, take the right steps to get to where you need to be. I mean, there's a formula to everything, whether or not we're aware of what that formula is, and there could be multiple formulas for different things, but there's always a way to achieve what you want. I believe, at least. Yeah. And so you just have to take those right steps and know what those steps are, and that's half the battle. It's trying to figure out what the hell you need to do to get to where you want to be. And it's a little bit of what we were talking about yesterday. I'm lost as shit. Like it's so like. Yeah, but yeah, that's really it.
No, definitely. It's a purpose, feeling like you have a meaningful purpose in your life, and like coming into like alignment with that is like why you feel lost, because you're like, what the fuck is my purpose? Why am I here? What am I doing here? And how do I do it well? All of those things.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you want to look at it from a greater scheme, I think personally, I've done a lot of like introspecting on this, like on a spiritual kind of playing field of why I think we're here. Like it's to do whatever you want, obviously, in life, but it's to learn as much as possible for whatever the next thing might be. I have my opinions on reincarnation, but I genuinely think that we're all here to be able to learn as much as we possibly can, so that way it can set us up for the next life, if you will. And so yeah, absolutely. But yeah, seeking our purpose in the greater scheme of things. So,
right, within the confines of 120-year cycle period, as we get with the may or may not our DNA have been manipulated by other beings from other places. So,
exactly, man, exactly. But yeah.
So do you feel, because we're already here, we're doing it.
Right.
We're not gonna, no need to go back to the beginning of the first thing. Do you feel that spiritual perspective or a religious element has any influence on the art that you make?
That's a really good question. I've actually
do my best.
Yeah, for sure. I actually haven't really considered that a whole lot or put much thought towards that. I would most definitely say yes. And the reason being is because a lot of my songwriting revolves around growing as a human being, and the lessons that I've learned, the hardships that I've experienced throughout life is a lot of what I write about. And in turn, the hardships and things that I've learned come from the universe, creator, whoever you want to name him, them.
Yeah,
absolutely, yeah. All of my experiences come from that. And so, in turn, I guess it does go into my songwriting for sure, because I write about the experiences and the lessons that I've learned. So, yeah, I would say that, my religion religion's a least. My spirituality definitely peeks through, but, in different ways, rather. It's not like me, like, writing Christian gospel or whatever. Rock, right, exactly. Yeah. But no, or like, talking about how great God is or anything like that. But it definitely is, influenced by what the universe teaches me every day. So sure. Yeah.
My stance on organized religion is that it's like become overbloated and corrupt. I would say.
Absolutely, I highly agree with you.
But that like to be religious
Mm-hmm.
is simply to have like a practice in which you do something every day.
For sure.
Like I try to just pray and be grateful that I have food every day.
Absolutely, right? Yeah.
And then the practices in the morning are a little loose right now, and the just ones at night I'm just trying to like read.
Yep.
Because it's just
doing breathing exercises in the morning, I heard.
Yeah, when if I remember to, or I choose to do it when I'm sitting in the sauna, like I do have the thing of like, just my job is fucking ridiculously cush, bro. Like a hot tub, a cold plunge, and a sauna.
Really?
All with
there
this
you
fucking
go.
little. Maybe it's definitely bigger than this table, but it's like a little bit wider, but all in the same like little thing. A shower, like
amazing.
Not having to use the shower. In the
right, exactly. On the tour bus. Yeah, totally, man. But yeah, that's sweet. Absolutely.
I'm just lucky. I'm just super lucky. I definitely feel that way. But just how did this whole thing with a manifestation journal that I want to make my own, and like that manifests that with that journal like every day, writing down like tour bus, and just like visualizing. I didn't really know what it was gonna look like, but just like.
But there it is, sitting right over there.
Right, dude. Fucking, that price was the exact amount that I wanted to pay. Like, it all just fucking
dude. I'm
clicked.
Stoked that worked out for you so well. You know,
dude. Now I was gonna actually go on tour, you know, or like find spots, or like
exactly.
Realistically, if like this is the thing that's like making me a livable amount of money and being able to just be nomadic and like pulling up to whatever city and being like, well, here's an open mic I'm just gonna go to and see what weirdos I run into, and then like they want to be on the podcast, great, and then just grow and grow. And
totally, man. Yeah, no, that's awesome. You know, and it's all about kind of like you were kind of saying, like experiencing and putting yourself out there as much as you can, experiencing as much as you can, talking to people who, you know, you wouldn't normally consider doing so, you know, and seeing what kind of life experiences they've had. And yeah, I think that's a really good thesis for a podcast, and like what you're doing is sweet, man. And
I guess I'm just got to bring it back where I'm like totally, because it's like this one is specifically like art and maximum novelty, which will go into the next question of like what is art to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But to say my piece before you answer that question, being like, because I did this when I was driving for Uber and Lyft. I had a show called Life on the Road with Ebb and Flow.
Oh, for sure. That sounds great.
Rolls right off the
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But like a similar thing of just like maybe having a different list of questions, or just like another premise of just like, hey, you seem like an interesting character. Do you want to be on a podcast? Because some people will just say no.
Sure, right.
But like when you're, especially in that like that format of being an Uber ride, like it was so like, cause if I had the microphone sitting in the middle of the car,
sure, like on like the center console,
literally like you couldn't miss it. If they weren't interesting enough as a person to be like, why? I wouldn't even ask.
Sure, absolutely.
It's just like there's just so many boring people who are living in their, especially it was like during COVID too, so it was like people were scared as hell
within their own confines of their life. Yeah, right. Absolutely.
So it's like if you're not interesting enough to be like why or like what the fuck,
sure,
like, I'm just gonna be like, I don't have time and energy to invest in you because you have nothing to give.
Right.
Realistically.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I hear you on that.
So what is art to you, though, Cam?
What is art to me? Art is everything that is. Sorry, I got like
it's just the fucking bumper sticker of Earth without art is It's just
oh sure. Oh yeah, that's probably like the first thing that popped into mind, right? Exactly. I mean, no, dude. I think art is everything. Art is, you know, you look around where we are right now, and I mean, this is Mother Nature's art, you know, and I think that's fantastic. But you know, I think it's a harmonic connection between all living beings. You know, something that everybody, no matter what language you speak, you know, or anything like that, you know, everyone can relate to some form of art, you know, and I think that there's huge, strong human connection that lies beneath that. Yeah, that's like in a nutshell. You know? Yeah, that's kind of what it is to me. I mean, also obviously it's fun. It's a way for people to express their joy or their grief or their, you know, whatever they're feeling. And I think it's one of the strongest and healthiest outlets that you can possibly do. You know, I think that it's just as good, just as strong as any therapy that you can get. You know, I mean, if you know how to utilize it correctly, you know. That's, nice, yeah, absolutely.
I love that each artist uses similar energy, but it's all just like coming out of your mouthpiece, your focal point.
Exactly.
It's fucking beautiful, man.
Yep, for sure.
I sat down with this lady who I think is going to be the next guest next week. And she was asking me the questions that I would be asking artists, but like the ones that were like poignant to her, that she was like, because she was the first person ever like I sent it to her that she like had pre-written like
answers,
wrote shit out to.
Sure,
she's fucking weirdo. So it was like she had like all these like awesome takes that I'm like only you would say some shit like that.
Sure,
like,
right.
I had the first time I'm meeting her and she's just like, I'm I'm enamored. Like I'd love to, but
Absolutely.
what the fuck was I saying that for? Because it just made me like meditate on like what is art to me, because I never fucking say that or haven't had the chance to like say it. So I just wanted to be like, as I'm like just trying to distill what I could actually like lay out in my own mouth of just like it's just intentional communication.
Sure.
In a way.
Absolutely.
Based on all other conversations I had, like the last one with Mike Parisi, he had just laid out this whole comparison between Bali and like the American Western idea of like what it means to be an artist.
Sure.
And just the tradition of just being an incredible artist, so that you can support and propagate the culture of the Balinese way of life, which is just so not American, like struggle on your own and like hope that you strike it rich somewhere. Some rich person pays you $1 million for your piece of art that you make, or you like sell your soul to Satan as a fucking musician to fucking do the Spotify thing, which we could fucking open that can of worms right now.
Sure, I mean, yeah, it's funny, man. You know, like I hear some people songwriting about how they allegedly sold their souls, you know, and stuff like that. And have you ever heard of this band Dr. Dog?
No, it's not.
Yeah, fair enough. They're a more niche band, anyways, and they actually just stopped touring. But yeah, no, I think one of the guys in that band, I mean, like, and he hasn't outright said it, but you know, you listen to a lot of his songwriting, and you know, there's this verse in this one song about how, you know, he's like, the devil's done, I've paid my dues, but he just won't quit. He don't like to lose. Yeah, you know, and so I don't know. I think that might, I don't know. And there's a lot of other things that contribute as well that I think he may have done that, but I don't know. What's your take on that? Have you ever like looked?
I mean, I definitely err more on the side of like the George Carlin Illuminati. It's a big club and you're not in it kind of take, for sure, on the fact that they're like the elites of any dynasty, any era have always just like kept to themselves and only allowed very like filter it out of like the common rabble of like, oh, these people are sociopathic enough to continue doing it the way that we want them to do.
Right.
There's this one guy, I can't remember his name, but he was espousing how like twisted and sick it really is at the top of governments performing black magic on a ritual like global level.
Absolutely.
And that like he had to like, he was already kind of like messed up based on his like life path of like trauma and poverty, that he was just like, all right, like go get in banks, do it the crazy way of like making fake money. I wish I could remember his name. It's Bernard something. I don't think so. But
sure.
He was just saying that he just had to like put his like conscience in a freezer, just stuff it down, and eventually got to a point where he got so in it that it was like so sick and twisted that he couldn't keep it frozen anymore.
Right, of course, yeah.
But bringing it more back into like music, that it's it's this whole thing of like once you sign the contract and they own your masters, that like however much money you can make through generating album sales and everything, like that it's not yours anymore. They give you like a percentage of it.
But I mean, like, you know, it's not only the money that they take away from you. You know, it's Taylor Swift, for example. Like, let's just take her and Travis Kelce, you know, and like, are you familiar with that whole kind of like she's dating like the guy from the Chiefs, Kansas City Chiefs?
I remember hearing about it. I mean, seeing memes about it.
Right, exactly.
But, like,
so
I'm not gonna like go out of my way to be like, what the fuck's going on with Taylor
Swift? Totally, right? And because that's the whole entire thing, is that like they've been used as like, and this might be a bit far out of an opinion, but I think that they were used that whole entire time for a distraction, you know?
For sure.
And so where I'm going with this is musicians, when they get to that level, they don't have any more original thoughts. They're no longer making their own decisions. Like, I wouldn't even like put it beside the fact that like they might like not even have been dating like on their own accord. You know, like it definitely could be like a publicity stunt.
Through the handlers.
Like, exactly, right?
PR and people, so, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, so as they are taking your money and like kind of exploiting you, even though you are still, you know, you have like a huge mansion and you have as much money as you want, you know, there's still all of that money from your song is not going to you, which I don't believe. And this is going to get into the part of Spotify and everything like that we'll talk about later. But there's like, you're not having any original thoughts. You know, the decisions you're making are not your own. You know, you're being influenced by so many other people around you. You know, and like I don't know. It's not the style of like, because I want to be a successful musician, but not like that. You know?
Not a sellout.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, man. Yeah, and no, I mean, like, I just want to be able to create my own success in like an honest way, you know, and kind of do it like that. So
no, absolutely. I feel like, because it's when you feel like you earned it and your actual like struggle that you went through actually produced the result that you wanted, you just feel so vindicated. You're like,
absolutely,
fucking did it,
right? It's like,
dude.
There's not anything more gratifying to me than that feeling, you know, like of recognizing the work that you did and then reaping the benefits from it. It's kind of like what I was talking to you yesterday about journaling, right? Like I try and like write down the things that I've done so that way I can actually look back on it and be like, I have grown. And that's similar for you, why you're, you know, I feel like doing this podcast, you know, it's a time capsule to, you know, kind of make sure that you're, you know, you're following your own progression and you're seeing how much you've actually, you know, grown and learned in life. And yeah, I think that's everything, you know, so.
Definitely. I know I'm going to look back in like a decade or however many years and just like see the jam I just did with my homie and be like, what the fuck that was, bro? Like, fuck, like, and I'm just be like, I still feel young now, but still feel exactly the same. Or I'm like, but I got the scars and the fucking bumps and bruises. To be like, but I actually am not that young anymore. Like, fuck.
Totally.
But one of the things that you said within the riffing on Taylor Swift thing, at that level, you don't have original thought anymore, which I definitely agree with, because I watched this video, which I'll try to find and like put like right here for the viewers. I love being able to do it. Yeah, they fucking yes. Yeah. It was about these rappers who had like reached some level of success. The biggest one being NBA Youngboy.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
And then one of the other ones was Little Sky, and then this other guy who I had no idea about. I didn't even know what the fuck Little Sky was either.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, Little Sky's got the braids and yeah, I know.
At least you do. I'd like to say I live under a rock, but now my rock is fucking rolls around.
So, how your rock moves.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, so
we used to ride these things for miles back.
The settlers delivering pizza.
Yeah, right, exactly,
man. Those dudes were like, they're laying it out where it's like, if they don't present the image with which the people in the industry tell them to present, then like the false idleness of that stature of stardom isn't imprinted on people that are like young and stupid and don't know any better. To like, I should pursue this and do the fucking dangerous drug selling and killing people because the music that I'm listening to
what they're promoting, right? Exactly. And
then some crazy other fucking conspiratorial shit that I can say right now that I heard David Wilcock espouse, which I don't know if you know anything about David Wilcock.
Not familiar, but I should. Yeah, send me something.
Yeah. He's it was somebody that like I fucking put on a pedestal. Like, this guy's the absolute truth, and then he's missing the mark on stuff, or just like his persona non grata that he presents. It's just like, bro, come on, you're not fucking as cool as you think that you are.
Sure, right.
He had said that somebody that came to him, because that's a lot of how he says his conspiracy stuff, is that insiders come to him as a fucking mouthpiece for his truth and
so like whistleblowers, if you will.
Essentially.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
What the fuck is that? The thing of like getting aliens and the alien technology out to people, disclosure. That's his shtick, one of his things.
Okay.
But the thing that he was disclosing in that moment related to the music industry was that in an insider meeting with the suits and ties and people saying, this is what we're gonna do, is that they were trying to essentially just get as many people incarcerated as they possibly could for the prison complex. So that's why they promote so much criminality.
Oh, how interesting! Because they want to keep that
because it's a fucking $1 billion industry.
Right, exactly.
Just keep people enslaved through this way, and debt and fucking just being in prison. Because it's just slavery with fucking, as long as they can get you on a charge for fucking having how much weed they had on you. Your skin color is the wrong skin color.
Right, exactly.
Or you don't have enough money to fucking pay for a lawyer to get you out of the thing. Like,
motherfuckers.
Dude, it's crazy. But
I could talk to you all fucking day about how much I don't like that side of the government and stuff like that. But
that's not. We're already on the list, CIA. We get it.
Right,
FBI,
exactly.
Whatever. Phone's listening to you 24/7.
Yeah,
but
literally.
You used to be crazy thinking that, but now it's like confirmed, and now everyone's just like, it's just normal.
Right, exactly.
A Nazi wet dream.
Literally.
Nazi wet dream, bro. It's so ridiculous. But on the topic of what we're doing here, where does originality originate from? In the artistic realm, or just in general, whichever.
Where does the originality originate from? Influence.
Sure.
So, I mean, that's one aspect I feel like is... It's hard to have... In music, if you want to talk about it from a musical standpoint, because art, as far as painting or drawing goes, it's going to be different every single time, you know? So, I mean, if you look at it from a mathematical standpoint, there's only so many different chord progressions you can write. There are only so many different...
Good.
That sound... Yeah, right, exactly. That sound good. There are only so many different scales solos that you can do, right? And how many times you can combine each scale with each other, right? And so eventually there is going to be a point in time where that has become tapped out, to where there are no more original ideas, because they've all been played by somebody before, right? And so it really depends, I feel like, on what you grew up listening to, what you currently like, and where your heart lies in the intention behind what music you're creating. I think that's where I'm going to end that. Yeah, absolutely. Sure, I think, it's just, originality is tough with music these days, you know. You can change the key of the chord progression, but I mean, somebody's already done that before,
right?
So I with lyrics, though, that's a completely different, animal, because music is, lyrics can be transposed to poetry, and poetry is always going to be different from different people.
Sure.
Yeah.
Feeling good?
Feeling good. I lost my train of thought a little bit.
No, you're good.
That was about it. Yeah.
I liked it. I liked every second of it.
For sure. Right on. Yeah. I have crippling ADHD, but
no, you're good, man. I have I never had it prescribed to me, but Adderall and like the whole like
totally,
or Ritalin and all the shit that's just like hyper, the meth that's like hyper focused.
Yeah.
I have that a little bit without it.
But
then having taken it like essentially recreationally, dude.
Sure.
So good.
Yeah.
That's
right.
why I don't do it, because it's so bad for you.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah. No, I'm not on any sort of medication for it myself either, and I've been trying really hard to find supplements, like vitamins and stuff like that kind of help with mental focus. But yeah, I mean, oftentimes I feel like, there's a lot of fog going on up in here, and I could totally contribute it to smoking too much weed, and like,
for sure, man.
No, I only smoke weed at night, that's kind of like when I do it, or if I'm like out, like on a lake for the whole day, I might like bring a joint out with me, but even still, like I wake up in the morning groggy because of it, like in a brain cloud, and it takes me a while to get out of it, and I think it's because I smoke right before I go to bed, and like, and so
changes your whole, like, my opinion, this isn't scientific in any way, shape, or form, but
sure.
that, like, smoking weed, especially in that twilight going to sleep phase, it kind of like uses the energy you would come up with, like the creative energy or whatever, however you want to describe it, of like your dream energy. It uses that preemptively, or like before you're actually all the way in that like REM sleep.
Sure,
like
without a doubt.
You get rested, but it's like you don't dream. At least for me, like some people have still kind of.
It's wild. I am a very vivid dreamer, even though I smoke before bed, and I actually have an issue where I lucid dream. And because it's not intentional, and I never started it intentionally, as a lot of people do, and the reason why I call it an issue is because, I'll subconsciously lucid dream to the point to where, like, I don't know if you know this, but if you lucid dream, you don't really enter REM, you know?
Really?
Yeah, and you don't get like that good, like, deep sleep that actually gives your body the rest. And so and so like why I say like I unintentionally do it, why unfortunately I lucid dream, is because a lot of the time I'll do it the whole entire night, and I'll wake up and I'm like, fuck, like, that was kind of a waste of like 8 hours, dude, but and it's wild too, man, because I'll wake up and I'm like, oh my god, none of that just happened.
Yeah, right.
Like I'll like one night, I'll live like 3 days in that one night where I'll like remember going to bed, waking up, doing the next thing the next day. Like this is like wild, man. I own a restaurant in this other like, and like it's like it's so like,
dude, this is the premise of a movie. Right.
It's insane, man. And like there's like this lake that I go to all the time out there, and there's like a few different houses, and I have like friends in this like alternate universe, if you will, but I don't know what any of them look like. I don't know what their names are.
Yes, you do. Your subconscious
my subconscious probably does, but I wake up and I try and remember what they look like or anything like that, and it's nothing.
Bro, you're gonna go someplace out here in the world, and you're gonna be like, yo, this is
the fucking guy. This is the guy.
This is it, bro.
Right, exactly.
I'm you in my dreams.
Yeah,
dude.
right,
like,
for real, man. No, that very well may happen. And the funny thing is that, like the like street that this restaurant that I own is on, it's like, I think it might even be like cobblestone, but there's like, but there's like neon signs outside and stuff like that. But I think it might be somewhere in like fucking Europe or something like that. Let's go. Right. Exactly. Let's go find it. Right. Yeah. But no, it's a very interesting thing for me, because like I said, I never started doing it intentionally or anything like that. Like it just kind of, it naturally started happening, and like. And the reason why I think it is lucid is because I go and visit the same places each time, and there will be very occasional moments where I'm in that dream and I realize that I'm dreaming, then I'll fucking start flying or something like that because I'm in a dream, you know. And so, but yeah, no, it's a weird experience, and you know, sleep is. I have a tough relationship with it, you know, because I'll oversleep almost every day, you know, and like I you know, when I said 8 hours a few minutes ago, but really, I mean, I'm probably averaging like 10, 11 hours a night, you know, and it's not healthy, you know, and so it's like one thing that
unless your body's sore, like I'm under the impression that like these arbitrary standards, because there's people who only need like 4,
right? Exactly,
and then there's people the average is like 8. So if you're just one of the people on the other side of the bell curve that just need more,
sure, right?
You're not hurting yourself or like waking up with a fucked up neck, like,
right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's just the fucking herd being like, this is what's okay, like
sure,
fucking...
yeah, that's actually a really good point. That is a really good point, you know, and like I beat myself up for it a lot, but maybe I shouldn't, you know.
Yeah, I don't think you should.
Yeah,
that's just me personally, as somebody who like loves to fucking be the instigator. Fucking
right.
Like, where is the boundary really, people? Like,
right, exactly.
Do you even know, or are you just going what the last person told you to,
right?
say? Like, you don't even know.
Yeah, without, dude, that's huge, man. Absolutely, and I really support that mentality and mindset. You know,
as long as I'm not being a supervillain or evil.
Well, sure, yeah, but I mean,
take that too far in itself. Too.
Absolutely, but you know, like the herd mentality, you know, and trying to like get people to like break out of that. I think that that's a really good thing of you to try and do, especially like in like circumstances like this, because like, you know, as much as I like to think that I am a free thinker, you know, a lot of the time, you know, I'm like, you know, I have a really hard time with, especially with music, comparing myself to other people and like what they're doing, and and like and how like what I can do to put myself in a better position to be more successful. But fuck, dude, you know, like it's really, the answer to that is just living in the moment, you know, like, and just being as present as possible, and understanding that all that has happened already.
Sure.
And all that's going to happen is going to happen, and there is nothing anybody can do about it.
So do you have free will?
Yeah, right, exactly. No.
Right, that's what I'm saying,
yeah, no.
Your fucking minds are like, I fucking hope so.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so yeah, man. No, I mean, as much as I would love to say, yeah, I have free will, I'm a free thinker, you know, shit, dude. No, I'm for sure, like, you know, like I said yesterday, I have a really hard time with social media and stuff like that. You know, like I'm active on it, you know, for my music, but then like, you know, I'll post something on my Instagram, like for music relation, then I'll sit on my phone for 30 minutes and look at reels, and, you know, and like, and compare myself to all these people who are like my age playing stadiums, you know, like, and stuff like that. And
you get crazy. You just got to, well, as a grounding like thing to fucking, when you're feeling shitty about yourself and not reaching that level of status and success, just remember that's like whatever 0.00000 digit out 1% of the population. That you're ahead of the other fucking giant 99.999 thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, when you're aiming for that, or you desire it, or it's the thing you see on the horizon that you're chasing, of your daemon, or you think it's your highest potential that you want to manifest into the physical reality, like, yeah, it's hard to just be like, fuck, why am I not there right now?
Right, exactly. Yeah, and in that regard, it's really hard to stay present too, you know, because I'm constantly thinking about the future, about like where I'm gonna go, constantly thinking about the past, all the decisions that I could have done, you know, all the things that I could have, you know, but like, fuck, dude, it's all relative, I guess, you know, and yeah, I don't know, I digress.
No, dude, it's fucking killer, dog. I'm loving this conversation.
Yeah,
man. You're gonna look back in this and be like, fuck.
I hope so, man. I really do. Yeah, absolutely.
Only because of how like life coachy it is, but also just like, you sounds like you just need it as a person. Yeah. Like, where are you aiming to be in like 1 to 5? I'm not gonna go 10 because it's fucking ridiculous. I might have an idea for myself, but like you as a person, I don't know what the fuck, how you measure it or what you're like aiming to do. It's like 1 to 5. Like, where is in that 1 to 5 range? Like, where are you aiming to be as an artist?
For sure. Yeah. No. So so I'm in 2 bands. One's the Lone Wolf Coyotes, the other one's Fonzie, who you know checked out, which I appreciate. And
fucking, it's right here. It will probably be playing the song that I fucking listen to.
Hell yeah, sweet. Yeah. You know, both of those bands have a lot of problems, I feel like, you know, and especially the Lone Wolf Coyotes. Even though we don't currently have any music released, we have 2 songs that are set to release in June, and then following that is a full-length album. Now, that being said, there's this band called the Black Crowes. I'm not sure if you've heard of them. They're
I don't think so.
Yeah, fair enough. They're a classic rock band from the 90s, and they're huge. You know, they got, you know, like 19 million monthly listeners or something ridiculous like that. And you know, fortunately enough, there's two brothers in the Lone Wolf Coyotes, Damon and Dylan, and they're both really good friends with that band. And Chris Robinson, the lead singer, he has, you know, I believe his own record label, and you know, he's looking to sign us under that, you know, which is really cool. Yeah,
Fantastic.
absolutely. Yeah. And so, you know, I'm hoping within the next 3 years to be no longer working at, you know, doing sales, because that's like the whole goal is I don't want to have a real regular job, you know. And so 3 years is kind of like really where I'm looking to kind of hopefully be with that. But you know, I'm really kind of giving myself to the age of like 30, and I'm not going to give it a hard deadline. If I turn 30 and I feel like I'm like there's something real, you know, going on, that, you know, I'm going to keep going. But you know, if I wake up one day and I'm 30 and, you know, there's no real sign of anything going on, you know, I'm just gonna sit down and, you know, try and create a good life for my kids and do that sort of thing. You know, I don't have kids yet, but I'm, you know, hopefully one day will. And and so yeah, that's really kind of where I am hoping to go with that. So yeah, 1 to 5 years, hoping that I, you know, no longer have to work a real job, and that I can
purely music.
Exactly. And that can be, you know, and I'm not like limiting myself to just playing live. It could be, you know, audio engineering, or being a booking manager for a band, or like a full band manager, things like that. Those are all things that I'm also very interested in.
What do you actually want out of like the music? Is it purely just to be performing? Or
Ideally.
Is it any of the... So, because like the universe doesn't take wishy-washy fucking signals.
Fair
it's
enough.
like whatever the fucking strongest, whether that be positive or negative signal you're sending out,
that's what you're
gonna get that shit. You're gonna get the opportunities that line up with like, well, he fucking said he wanted to do this, but he's kind of half-assing it, so now he's only gonna get stuck at relegated to the things that is like are close to the thing he actually wanted.
Sure, and that's where the plateau comes in for sure. Yeah, no. So I mean, I like performing. That's you know, writing music, recording it, like touring it, doing that. That's what I want to do with my life. You know, and that's like wholeheartedly. It's what I've wanted to do since I literally can remember. You know, like I remember getting asked the question when I was, you know, in elementary school, like, what do you want to do when you grow up? And my answer was to be a musician. And
everyone's like,
every single time, you know, my teachers would be like, oh no, we mean like a real job. And I would be like, well, fuck, is that not? Yeah, right, exactly, man. You know, and so there was a lot of that going on. But yeah, no, I mean, like ever since I can remember, man, like I wanted to be like Paul McCartney from the Beatles. You know, like I had a huge influence from the Beatles, like growing up.
If I could get the complexity with which they were able to master musical theory into the simplicity of their songs that they made, if I could translate that into my music, I would I'd feel like I've arrived as a musician.
Sure.
It's easy listening, but they knew what they were doing was very actually complex.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my god. Yeah. No, I mean, it's funny. So my dad, when he was starting to learn how to play bass, because he now plays bass as well, his music teacher, you know, was like, don't learn how to play any Paul McCartney stuff. He's like, not yet. He's like, you're gonna quit if you try and learn how to play that stuff right now, you know. And yeah, I agree. I mean, shoot, dude, I've been playing guitar for 17 years, and and I still have a hard time playing a lot of, you know, the Beatles stuff. But yeah, I
can play Blackbird.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, but I mean, but can you write something like Blackbird?
Dude,
dude, you know, like it's such a it's such an insane thing. But
you could write something.
Yeah, right. It's like there's a huge difference between being able to play something and being able to write something, and that's where I have actually plateaued. Interestingly enough, you know, I definitely think that every musician will reach like a plateau in their career, and yeah, I can, you know, confidently say that I can play almost anything that you teach me how to, but like actually being able to sit down and write something that complex or, you know, intricate is a whole nother, you know, being it within itself. And
definitely.
Yeah, and it's something that I have been striving to, you know, learn and do. But yeah.
No, I get it, man. I get it. Music is like this weird, like, there's a reason I ask people in dog years how many fucking dog years they have been as a musician.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
It's the only real measure that I can actually come up with of, like, once you're into, like, 3 dog years, just, like, 21 fucking years,
right,
bro.
Exactly.
Then you're finally, like, all right, I'm, like, proficient.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's, like, the whole, like, if you do anything for 10,000 hours, you're a professional at it, you know? But, I mean, like, fuck it, I put in well over 10,000 hours here, and not considering myself a professional musician quite yet, you know.
Yeah.
But then that kind of dictates, or begs the question, what dictates a professional musician from not? Like, is it where you're making money full-time doing it? Or
Right.
like,
Is that not
yeah.
the metric with which most fucking normies would be like, yeah, you're a professional because you go on tour and like
Right.
sell albums and merch and like
Exactly.
you're fucking, that's why you're a professional.
Right, yeah. I mean, but at the same token, you know, you can look at, like, I don't know if you ever heard of this, the Wrecking Crew, but they're studio musicians from the 60s, and like every single Beach Boys record you've ever heard, you know, like it's like the Beach Boys singing, but the Wrecking Crews who wrote all of that music, and nobody's ever heard, I couldn't tell you a single one of their names, you know, but like they're all professional musicians, even though they're not selling records, they're not going on tour, you know, like anything like that. And so
there's studio musicians that
Right.
are like the fucking wizards in the background.
Right,
They're not
exactly.
really pulling the strings per se, because I would
Yeah.
imagine the suits are pulling the strings
Sure,
behind
right.
for the wizards, but the
Mhm.
wizards are the ones that's like, yo, this shit's magic.
Exactly,
If we
yeah.
get the right people in front of this,
Mhm.
this can fucking be a hit.
Yeah, and creating, yeah, absolutely, and so that, yeah, just like, where is the line between a professional musician and not, you know, is, you know, another thing that I've pondered on a lot. But
I definitely think professionalism is just an area you can carry into or you can carry into any area of your
Sure.
life.
Mhm.
That, like, if you show up on time, you're
Right.
not too fucked up to play.
Exactly,
Like,
right.
you put on the best show that you're able to, like,
Mhm.
you put your heart all the way out there, express as much vulnerability as you're capable of doing in the moment of
Right.
of the show.
Absolutely.
That, like, that's the best anyone can ask for. Like, if
Exactly.
you're leaving everything out on the field, then,
Uh-huh.
like, why are people going to be mad at you unless what they paid for was absolute dog water?
Yeah, right.
Then you're like, wow, dude, I really paid for this.
Yeah,
Fuck,
right,
dude.
exactly. And unfortunately, I have been to a few concerts where that's been the case, you know, but, you know, I try and remind myself in those moments, you know, like, maybe it's just a bad night, or at least they're fucking out there. At least they're putting themselves out there, and at least they're, you know, like, trying and doing the damn thing, you know, because a lot of people will sit there from their couch, you know, watching, you know, people on like the CMA or whatever, you know, and they're like, those people fucking suck. They don't deserve that award. But like, what are you doing, man?
Dude,
You're sitting on your couch, you know, like, yeah.
It's the Theodore. I think it's Theodore Roosevelt. The quote is like, it's easier to fucking be like make fun of the dude in the arena. I'm paraphrasing. You
Sure.
say it like this, but
Right.
Dude, make it easier to fucking point fingers, and make fun of the guy in the arena than
Mhm.
it would be to be the guy who just got his shit kicked in a fucking fight, or
Right,
like,
exactly.
bombed at a fucking show where it's like,
Mm-hmm.
at least that person has the stones to do that.
Right,
Like, you're just
exactly.
the fucking person like watching.
Sure.
It takes zero effort.
Sure. Have you bombed?
Yeah.
Like on stage?
Yeah,
for sure.
Comedian?
Yeah,
dude,
exactly.
Comedian,
Yeah.
Music for sure, dog. Yeah, if you like lose faith in yourself and like
Mhm.
like just like give up before, like in the middle of it, I feel like that's worse than
That's
just
when you start
playing
losing.
through. Yeah, playing
absolutely.
through it and just trying. Like, I'll never forget this. Fucking not really believing in myself, and also not feeling like prepared, and like not having a set list prepared. 'Cause
Mhm.
That's a huge
Yeah,
part.
for sure.
So, like, having a set list prepared, guy, and, like showing up at this like weird birthday party where it's not really my birthday party, and I don't know anyone there.
Gotcha.
But like being like playing with this band, like kind of, but probably being like the worst musician there.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
But then like they all fucking left, and they like left me up there to like our guy, like, go, and I didn't even know happy birthday. Like, I fucking like didn't. Well, I was not even half-assing it, bro. Like fucking quarter-assing it.
Sure,
Just, like,
right,
feeling
right.
so embarrassed of like, why
Yeah.
am I alive? Why am I doing this?
Why
and
am
then
I-
fucking like super sad boy, woe is me, I'm the victim energy, and just my fucking
Fuck, man. Yeah.
my fucking ex-girlfriend was like broke up with me the next morning. And I was just like,
Shit, dude. Yep.
thank God.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Sure.
thank God.
Fair. Yeah.
Thank God. But like, I can say that now. It was devastating at the time. But.
Yeah, right, exactly. Oh shit, man. Yeah, no, I can completely relate to you on that. Yeah, I've unfortunately bombed myself a couple times, but I feel like that's also like, you can't create your success if you can't see your defeats, you know.
Yeah. You learn more from them anyway.
Right,
It's
exactly.
just not nearly. It doesn't feel good.
Yeah, right. It's that gratification is definitely not present when you're bombing. But yeah, man, yeah, it's all super relative to
Where you started
and where you're
you
gonna
are,
end up.
and where
Exactly.
the final goal.
Right. Yeah, without a doubt, man.
So with that in mind,
Mhm.
it feels very perfect. Do you feel like there's a telos to your thing, which is Aristotelian, the Greek philosopher, or Aristotle technically, but Aristotelianly, an end goal of an end function, a higher end purpose to like the music, the vision of like what you're trying to create with your art?
Yes, without a doubt. So the reason why I play music and the reason why I want to become a professional musician and have a good outreach is because I want to be able to put out music that other people can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain feeling that I get when I listen to certain songs that creates just this like, sorry, there's these dudes' music are throwing me off. But
music for the musicians.
Right, exactly.
What key is that in?
Yeah, right. But no, I think that there's this feeling that I get like when I hear certain songs that really just kind of grabs my inner
soul.
Thing. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, and it makes like it gives me this feeling of that I can like just pretty much do anything, that I can, think however I want, do whatever I want, and I want to be able to give that back to other people. I want to be able to create music that other people can listen to and relate to, and like if they're ever going through like a hard time, like put on that song and just like be able to introspect and think to it, and yeah, so that's really why I want to become that professional musician. It's not for the money or the vanity or anything like that. Like that shit does not matter to me at all, as long as I'm comfortable with myself, and like that's all that matters. But yeah, no, it's definitely just putting music out there for other people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's beautiful, man. I get that. I feel that I would say that my kind of, for at least from the musical standpoint, is to like have people be able to remember an era of their life when they hear the music that my music that they listen to, and be able to be like transport them back to that time and place in their life.
I dig that. Yeah,
dude,
absolutely.
I love that shit about music so much that you're like, fuck yeah, I remember when I first heard this, or just like the whole fucking nine of
totally,
the emotional fucking thing of like, dude, that fucking I was banging that chick and
right, or yeah,
that era of my life, or that song was like that fall. Listen to that whole summer.
Exactly. Yeah, no, like my partner Alcy, she'll tell you like anytime, like if there's ever a song that comes on that's from like my childhood, or anything like that, my tagline is I could tell you exactly where I was the first time I ever heard this song, because oftentimes I remember the first time I ever like heard like songs that mean, like still hold like a lot of value to me, and yeah, and it's I totally dig that outlook for sure. That's a good reason to make music, man.
No,
for
definitely.
Sure.
I love making sure that sounds good. I love singing. I do want to be famous. I'm not gonna fucking lie.
Sure,
like,
of course.
I'd be lie if I said if I didn't want to be remembered for all of the crazy things. And just being able to have like the influence to like push actual like coherent, like this is how the world is. This is why the world is. Like,
right.
This is what you can do to change it so it's better. You can choose to be lazy and not make the changes in your life that you want to see, and like whatever, that's on you. But like, being a role model with which people are inspired to pursue the best version of themselves.
Yes.
Literally, this happened to me. It's kind of fucking fucks with me. Still, this recently happened. This woman that I met started doing stand-up comedy because she saw me like talk to me and like
really.
Yeah, I was like, what? That's crazy.
That's crazy, right?
Actually, I hope I can get her on this podcast.
That'd be dope. You totally should. Yeah, absolutely.
I want to, dude.
Yeah,
well, her and her sister and her other sister, because her other sister's super hot, but I fucking pressed her fucking like accidental like woe is me button victimhood mentality. She was like, gotcha. I hear that all the time. All the dudes say that. They see my sisters and we're just like, yeah, okay. And I'm like, fuck. Yeah, I was like, oh, man, sorry, Tina, my bad.
Oh, that's tough. Yeah.
Your sisters are pretty good. What am I supposed to do?
Right, exactly. That's funny right there, man.
Dude, you're telling me, man. I'm living it over here.
But,
do you aspire to greatness? Aspire to greatness, I assume, in some way, shape, or form. Aspire to greatness.
Aspire to greatness, yes. Yeah, absolutely. I want to be great at what I do. I think that's a relative question because I don't think I'll ever call myself great. Because like to me that seems vain, and to other people, it might not, because there's no problem in recognizing who you are, and if you genuinely are great.
Don't want to be like Kanye.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Don't want to be like Kanye. You got it, man.
Oh my god! I just told you what the hell I was.
Yeah, right. Exactly, man. Yeah. But no, dude, I definitely aspire to be the best version of myself that I can possibly be, and some days are harder than others. Yeah.
Big true. Yeah. Capital T.
Yeah, absolutely. But anytime that I can remind myself to put my best foot forward and try as hard as I can, that's definitely what I'll be doing. So yeah,
self-sabotage is the worst, man.
Fuck, dude, yeah.
That's nothing. There's literally nothing else except for this is on you, dog. You shot yourself in the foot. You didn't practice. You didn't fucking do the shit.
Exactly.
To make your dreams come true.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's what I struggle with a lot as well, is for the not, and I don't want to say forcing myself, because you should never force yourself to do something that you love doing, but like
Discipline.
yeah, right, but discipline, right, exactly, yeah, trying to stay disciplined and regimented with my practice of my musicianship. I don't do it nearly as much as I should, to be honest with you. There's a lot that I still have to learn with guitar and with songwriting and all of that sort of stuff, really. Yeah, it's just getting myself to do it, and as I do aspire for greatness, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm doing everything that I can to make myself that. There's a lot more that I could be doing that I'm not.
Right.
Yeah, but
there's like a balance of like maximizing to like efficiency ratio, essentially, that like sometimes just doing anything is better than like nothing.
Right.
At some point, especially as you like find yourself increasing in proficiency and hitting certain plateaus, as you were saying, that like you have to eventually like come up with or find people who can mentor you and put you in the right frame of reference of like, this is what I can actually do and how I can increase my like technicality, or just like go about it in a more efficient way.
Sure. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, and luckily, I'm very blessed and fortunate to have that. So like the Lone Wolf Coyotes, the other band that I'm in, I'm the youngest guy in that band by 20 years.
Oh shit. No
yeah
way.
Yeah, all these guys are, I think the next youngest is 41 or 42 or something like that, and so I guess not 20 years exactly, but either way,
pretty damn close.
Yeah, pretty close, right? I've been in that band for about 3-ish years now, and what I've learned is invaluable. I definitely have, like, everybody in that band is a mentor to me in different facets, and just being able to recognize that, though, I think is a really big part of it, and trying to absorb as much as I can while I'm around them as well, for sure. That's helped me a lot with learning how to be a better musician. And yeah, just kind of trying to tap into every resource available. Yeah, for sure.
Now, I guess kind of getting close to the end of the thing.
Yeah.
But there's just a question I want to ask. There's a couple questions I want to ask, but I want to, because I can only do like really realistically out of like the 3 or 4 that I got, like 2.
Okay.
So it's like, do you have a muse, and or what would you say has like been your biggest influence as a musician?
For sure. I think my muse is the family I want to create. The comfortableness that I want in life. I do come from poverty, to be completely transparent, like my whole entire life, grew up with my parents, living from check to check, and sometimes not even being able to do that. And the one thing that I want in life is security, with a house, making sure that I'm not worried about when my next check is gonna hit, things like that. And in turn, like, I want to create, a family eventually, and do that. And I don't want to have to put them through what I went through, and so, like, my inspiration and my muse heavily comes from that. And then remind me the follow-up.
Those are just the 2 kind of interrelated ones.
Yeah, and then but like a lot of inspiration comes from hearing other people's music, and like I said, being like fuck, that hits me like hard, like I really like that sound. I love the vision that these people are creating and what they're talking about, guy pumping up his boat over there.
The sitting boat.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, and so that's where a lot of my inspiration comes from, is wanting to create things that people can relate to and listen to and try and introspect to, almost, Yeah.
That's definitely a D sharp, bro.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I heard some shit. I heard a car horn that I think was like in the podcast I edited before this one.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And I was like fucking around on my guitar, and I played a note, and it sounded exactly like the car horn, and I'm like, oh fuck, it's an A flat for sure, right. Dude.
Did you know, though, that the majority of car companies use F major for their...
Really?
Yeah. And
I swear to God, that shit sounded like A flat to me.
It could have been. That, okay, keep in mind, I saw that on Instagram once.
All right.
So
I get most of my conspiracy shit off my Instagram
Sure,
at this point,
sure.
So.
Yeah, so it can be, I don't know, like, you can't believe everything that's on the internet, right? Yeah. It's like, if it's on the internet, it must be true. Like, fucking...
Dude, because I've seen those memes that are like, well, growing up, we just had like a fucking aunt that would just tell us shit. We would just be wrong for fucking 30 years.
Right.
We didn't have the internet to fact check us.
Tom Segura?
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, but he's got one bit kind of similar to that, where like his dad told him that some celebrity was gay.
Yeah.
And so he went around
His whole life.
Yeah. telling me like anytime that his name would come up, be like, oh, did you know he's gay?
Yeah.
And then one day, he was in a group of people talking about him, and
Yeah.
he's like, oh yeah, that guy's gay. And this other person's like,
no, he's not.
Yeah.
Like,
and he's like, yeah, he is. He's for sure gay. Like my dad told me. And then he's like, no, I've known him and his wife for 20 years. Like,
she's just a beard, bro.
Yeah, right.
Just a beard. Dude, that's some Tom Segura shit I've never heard.
Right, exactly.
I want to like him, but I think it's only because he's at a higher echelon of comedy than I am.
Sure.
He just strikes me as such a fucking know-it-all douchebag.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's kind of his.
That's kind of his stick. Yeah. That's kind of his shtick.
He probably is a fucking kind, normal human being off camera, but
could be right.
On camera, dog. I'm like, yo, I want to hate this guy.
Yeah, for real. No, I totally hear you on that. No, it definitely seems like he hates the world and like that type of shit.
Yeah.
Like that's his whole
what is that? Not agnostic. The other one that's worse than that, where you're certain there is no God. What the fuck is that one, dog?
I thought that's what
atheistic. Atheistic is a thing, but not that.
No,
one.
I thought
cynicism and what is it? Where nihilistic.
Nihilistic.
That's
totally nihilistic.
Yeah.
Fuck, I knew this guy. I worked with this guy. I won't say his name on the podcast. Very nice individual, but he was a complete nihilist, man. Like he's just like nothing matters. Like
right.
like
well then just kill yourself.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, he's like nothing ever has mattered. Don't. But yeah.
Call the hotline, they'll help.
Right, exactly.
They'll talk you through it and you'll be like, man, what a dumb thing I was thinking about.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Preaching from experience.
Sure, well, there you go, man.
Being real.
Utilizing the freaking tools that you got, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
man.
dude. Literally
Glad to have you here, man. Seriously. Yeah.
Thank you,
right.
world.
Absolutely.
Damn, bro. Go make a big old
Oh,
that's a real ass boat. Oh, shit,
yeah,
dude. That's a real ass boat. I'm about to fucking look at this boat, people.
It's a nice boat, actually.
Look at that boat. I can put you back down.
Hell yeah.
So we're going to wrap it up with the last question. Then
Yeah,
I'm going to try to edit out the fucking whatever part I can to make it an hour.
Sure.
Goddess willing, if we were to fucking, as soon as I stopped hitting the record button, or hit the record button and it was over, and we both had aneurysms, what nugget of wisdom would you want to, share with the rest of humanity if you could beam it into their little brains? The very end of the show. This is my last question. I got it from Paul Check.
It's a good question. Be patient.
I got a song for you.
Oh yeah, for sure. The things that are supposed to be in your life and the people that are supposed to be in your life will be there. You don't have to go seeking that. You don't have to spend all of your energy and focus on that. You can just be patient, be present as possible at all times, and everything else will take care of itself. Yeah, absolutely. I like that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's the ayahuasca one I picked up.
Yep, there you go.
Not specifically. They took it from somebody
well,
else.
that's a native saying. Yeah, absolutely.
Lakota, I think. I hear you.
Yeah. Aho is it's word. That's pretty much that's what word is.
Not so many words.
Yeah, right. That's really it, man. And I could go on for so long to talk about that, but really, I mean, in a nutshell, it's just be as patient and persistent as you can, and everything else will work out. Just always move forward, keep moving. Yeah,
sure, dude. Keep swimming.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I
trust the process. Just encapsulate or regurgitate or hash it up in trust the process, man. Trust the process.
Yep.
Be patient. Absolutely. It's the process of becoming is never ending until you're dead.
Yep. The moment you stop learning is the moment you stop growing as an individual.
And then you're dead.
Yep, and then you're dead.
Because bro, the old people that are just haven't changed from whenever they stopped learning to they're fucking laying on their deathbed. It's those people who have the most regrets because they're like, why didn't I do something different?
Exactly.
It's now I have no time. Fuck, dumbass.
Yeah, right.
Where can the people find you?
For sure. So Fonzie with an S, Fonsie. You can find us on all major streaming platforms. The Lone Wolf Coyotes. We are set to release 2 songs in June, hopefully, followed by a full-length album. Again, Spotify. For now, you can find me at cam.janicula, Janicula, on Instagram. But yeah.
It'll be in the description. It'll be on the screen as he's saying it. Or said it, rather. You know where I am. Yep. I'm still the guy. Check out my links. Support the Patreon.
Support the Patreon.
I need some fucking money right now.
Yeah, dude.
And then when I don't need money, I'll fucking pay it back to the community and fucking do fucking shows and ayahuasca ceremonies and all the things. That's my fucking dream. That's where we're going to end on. Smile more, complain less, never, ever, ever give up until you've discerned it's for your absolute highest best to move the fuck on and close the door on the thing that's no longer serving you.
Preach.
Yeah, that's it, people. Thanks for tuning in. Peace the fuck out. Namaste. Have a great day.
Namaste.
Sweet dreams. Slav Shun. Goodbye.
Be well.
Yeah. Be well.